Hey guys, what's up? This is Junior from Blue Armor Construction. Just got out of the gym, pretty pumped up. Pre-workout still kind of kicking in. So I was about to probably go start one of my roofs this week, but every time I do a roof, like a random storm just shows up. I mean, I'm always looking at the weather, and for some reason, it's just never, never accurate. Just that one random cloud that shows up and just brings enough rain to, get me worried. But anyways, so out here sipping some coffee, relaxing. But I wanted to talk about a couple of things though, because so I deal with some customers that try to lower my prices. As far as like I give them, I go check out like a roof or something and give them a price, and then they always tell me the same response. It's well, these other contractors are not even close to your price. To be completely honest, it's just I can't compete with borderline prices. I can't compete with unlicensed contractors. So and that's typically majority of the reason why that a lot of people end up giving cheaper prices. Cause and then they always some kind of expert. Oh well, I know the price, and oh, I know how much this goes for. If that was true, I'd give you a really good price. Cause I mean, even when I compete with other contractors, I'm always either somewhere in the middle, and it's not because like I've even heard a rule of thumb that's oh, get three contractors and hire the one in the middle. That is a terrible, terrible advice. Don't do that. I mean, it's what it is. You just kind of you gotta do your due diligence. You gotta know, talk around. Maybe some people have heard about some of these contractors. Realize where you're getting these contacts from. Because I mean, I've even went to one where it was, I think she said she called 12 contractors to go out there, and majority of them were unlicensed. So again, if it's the price you want, then unlicensed contractor is the way to go, I guess. But that is, you're just gonna end up spending a lot more than hiring a professional. The reason why is that an unlicensed contractor doesn't have to. They don't have a license, so they didn't pay anything for a license. They don't pay taxes. They don't pull permits. They don't pay general liability, workman's comp. So this is the reason why they're so much cheaper. I mean, because they're doing it completely illegal. And so if they're doing that illegal, what else are they doing? What other corners are they cutting? Are they cutting down on your material? Are they cutting down on certain things that need to be done on your roof, or a remodel, or framing, or whatever they might be doing? So these are little things just to consider. And I have nothing nice to say with unlicensed contractors, not at all. I have nothing to say with unlicensed contractors, because I mean, I put in the time, I put in, a lot of money to get my license, general liability, workman's comp, and then you have to put in so much hours for experience before you can even get your license. So I had 5 years experience before I even decided to go get my own license. And these are just the little things that you got to realize that, because I mean, I know people are saying a lot of bad things about contractors, as far as, oh, they're just trying to rip you off, and oh, they're just hire a handyman. It's the same thing. Unlicensed contractor, it's just, I guess, a different term, but it's still illegal. Like, even as a handyman, I think you can only make around $2,000 a year. That's handyman service. So a lot of people think, oh yeah, I have a handyman service, I can do this and I can do that. That's not true, because I originally was going to get my handyman's license, and they told me that. And I even looked it up, and it says that you can only make so much a year. So now that is unlicensed contracting. Back to it's illegal. You're not supposed to do that in the state of New Mexico. So in other states it's different. It just depends on what state you're from. But here in New Mexico, it's completely illegal. You're not supposed to be doing any of that. So if you realize, like, why it costs so much, this is the reason why it costs so much. Because you even get a warranty on a lot of your work. So you end up paying some more, and they have to pay for, overhead expenses and stuff like that. So the reason why for that is that if you have a warranty and you want it super cheap, and this contractor's giving everyone super cheap work, and he can't keep up with his own bills, he goes out of business. And then when you have a problem, like if your roof starts leaking in a year, you call them up, and he's out of business now. Like me, I have an LLC, so if I end up going out of business and you're like, oh, you need to come fix my roof, I'm sorry, the business no longer, you know, it's not a business anymore. Like, well, you still gotta come. No, I don't. You can even go to court and I'm separated from my business. The business has been closed, now you gotta go hire someone else to fix it. This is the problem why, you know, you're paying a little bit more, you know, and people always think there's some kind of expert, and that's fine. Do your due diligence though, but you know, you got to realize that it's a business. You don't go to McDonald's and be like, oh, I want a Big Mac, but I want to pay for half the price. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? That's the price. You know, and you know, I don't mind negotiating some certain things. You know, I have people that just like, oh, I'll buy all the material. Okay, I'll give you all the material list. I'll charge you for delivery if you want me to go pick it up. And then as far as that goes, I'll just charge you for the labor. And then for my time, my overhead expenses. You know, why do you have to pay overhead expenses? Because it's a business still. You know, it's still not going to be removed. So you end up still kind of paying the same thing. You know, sometimes, you know, if you decide to get your own material, I put in a little bit more. This way, if there's certain things I need to get, I can go get that instead of going back to you and telling you, hey, I need more money. Hey, I need you to buy this. Hey, I need to do this now. No, because I put in for a lot of that. There is sometimes where it's a big issue, where it's something that none of us overseen, and sometimes you got to pay a little bit more, and that's what it's called, an estimate. It's not called a set price. It's called an estimate. So an estimate is an estimated price, and sometimes it can change depending on the situation though. So that's another thing that some, you know, certain customers need to realize is it's an estimate. You know, so these are just little things I like to talk about as far as you know, licensed contractors. So if you're hiring someone like me or someone other licensed contractor and you're freaked out about the price, well, these are some of the reasons, but there's always different things around it. You know, some contractors even have a like a payment plan through like a third party, some kind of financing. You know, so just ask about some of that, you know, and then see if that might help you out. If you're trying to cut corners, that's completely up to you. There's, instead of doing the unlicensed thing, you know, there's a thing called a homeowner's permit. You can pull your own permit and do your own roof and do your own pergola and porches and stuff like that. There's plenty of resources out there to help you, you know, to build a porch and do your own roof. I mean, YouTube, you know, Google, you know, if you go out there and you check it out, you'll find something. That's another alternative, and it'll save you a lot of money doing it yourself. If you ever run into someone, you know I've heard of contractors that pay, you know, by the week or something, or you pay just by their hourly. I personally don't do that, but I know there's other contracts that do that, so just kind of ask around. And these are little things like that, because I mean, I've heard everything. I started the job, you know, just to do it cheaper, or I just need a handyman. It's unlicensed contractor. I needed, you know, it's an easy project. Yeah, like I've heard it all. All it means is that I don't want to pay you what you're worth, and that's fine. I mean, there is a such thing called bad contractors, but there's also a thing called bad customers. There's customers that want you to do it super cheap, and as soon as you do the job, they make everything an issue. I mean, all the way down to the road. I mean, to the end of the project. It's constant issues. Oh, well, I need you to do this now, but I'm not going to pay more for it. No, it doesn't work like that. Oh, well, I can't believe you. You're just trying to take advantage. No. You know, there's some contractors that take advantage. There's customers that take advantage. And these are just little things, you know, that I had to get out of my chest, because, you know, I've been doing the business, and even like my business is new, but I'm not new to the business, because I've worked with several other contractors. And we have always ran into these problems with certain customers, and there's always little red flags that we look out for, you know. So while you're looking for the right contractor, we're actually looking for the right prospect. We're looking for the right customer, the one that's best for us, because since we've done it so much, we see these little red flags. So if you notice why certain contractors don't get back to you, or some contractors say, hey, no, you know what, I'm too busy right now, you might have not passed that, you know, I guess you could say like their test. You didn't really pass that test, so, you know, they want to go a different direction, and they can do that completely, just like customers do it. Some customers don't even call the contractor back, but they expect contractors to call them back. It's just, you know, it's treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, it's just a normal business. It's just every other business, you know. We have to charge because we want our business to grow. Not only that, but we have families to feed, you know. So while you're thinking of yourself, you know what I mean, sometimes you gotta put yourself in other people's shoes and just realize, you know, these are just little things like that. But this is Junior with Blue Armor Construction. God bless.